What's happening, guys? Welcome to another video where we're going to give you top tips and tutorials on how to tell your stories through a lens. Now, I'm out on a meeting today, but I made sure that I'm going to get some content out to you guys. So today is going to be a special one. We're going to be talking about specifically how to build your brand through conveying a meaning by getting across a belief system and building a tribe of people that believe what you believe. Because ultimately that's what it's about, and that's what Apple do, that's what Amazon do, that's what Disney do, and we're going to use some of those as examples. So let's get into it. So I've managed to find somewhere quiet in the middle of town on a sunny day that I can talk about this topic now. So meaning is what I really want to get across to you guys because it's important. Meaning equals connection, which equals belonging. The very basic human desire is that we have a belonging to fit in, a belonging to be a part of a group or a belief system. Everybody has belief systems, and the brands that we wear normally communicate what we believe. We pick brands based on what we believe. That brand has to align with a belief that we hold internally. And if you can communicate that effectively to your audience, then people are going to pick you based on your opinions, based on your belief. So that is why I always push brands to be opinionated. It's not about playing it safe, it's about having an opinion. So let's take Disney for an example. Disney are a media company, but what they're in the business of selling and the belief system that they hold is magic. They believe in magic. The people that watch what they give and the value that they give, they believe in magical experiences. And that's what they sell. When you go to their Disneyland, it's like a magical experience. Every single customer touch point is a magical experience for the people that attend. And the same with the videos and the films, everything. There's magic within it. There's not one Disney movie that does not have magic in it. So it's building a tribe of people that believe in magic and all stand for that magical theme. They enjoy it, they believe in it. It's a belief system that people have. So that's the meaning that they market and brand themselves as. And it's really creative when you think about it, because you don't really look at that straight away and it isn't obvious. But people in the know, people that believe in what they believe and follow the brand, they know all about it, especially when you explain it to them. It makes perfect sense. I thought I need to give you guys some context to why I'm actually filming in the middle of Birmingham. I had a lot of meetings today in Birmingham, so I thought to myself, you know what, might as well kill two birds with one stone and get some content created and give you guys some hints and tips while I'm here. I've got to stay committed to this, got to stay consistent. So this is literally me doing it and fitting it within my schedule, just to give you some context. Straight back to the video. So we're back to the office now, and what I really want to get across to you guys is the importance of meaning. So I want to reiterate a few points because I think it's really key that you get this and narrow it down for your personal brand or for your business's brand. Now, when I say meaning, obviously I gave the example of Disney. Now, a lot of people are probably thinking, yeah, but that's Disney. They've got a multi-million-pound budget. They've got a lot more that they can do and whatever. And they're already quite established. But let's look at a normal business, a small to medium-sized business. How can you get across meaning and how can you find your meaning for your individual businesses? So let's look into that. Now let's look at my personal meaning and my brand meaning. I 100% believe that everybody has a unique tone of voice. Everybody has a unique character, and we shouldn't be ashamed of it. No one should have to tolerate a job or an industry that they really hate because the establishment that has always done it the same way frowns upon them for being different. Everybody's unique. Like, we shouldn't try to fit in somebody else's mold. We should be ourselves and get comfortable in our own skin. And one of the things that I notice personally is that a lot of people are scared of video because they're scared of who they are. They have the questions of who likes me, who's gonna care, like, am I funny enough? And often, a lot of the time, they try to be someone that they're not because they don't feel comfortable with being themselves. But everybody else is already taken. You should be focusing on being yourself because there's only one you. So at the core, that's really what my brand is about. It's about helping people, being that guide to people, helping to king as many people as I possibly can that really just want to help more people and reach more people. I'm just the guy that basically helps them to package it in a digital world that we're currently living in. That is it. I don't look at myself as the king, and I don't try to position myself as the king. But that's where I get my fulfillment and enjoyment, and I feel that's one of my purposes. Now, the way that I communicate that will be through different pieces of content. Obviously not all at once. I won't just jump on and spiel all that. I'll put it in little bits so people pick it up in drips and drabs as we go along. I could potentially do one video that really gets across the whole point, but it's all about putting it in your content over and over and over again, just in different ways, whether that's visually, through written word, or through audio. Like, you've got to find a way to communicate that within the content that you're actually creating. So here comes the key points, so pay attention. Notice how I didn't talk about myself, I didn't blow my own trumpet, and it wasn't about what we do or even how we do it. I didn't go into the specifics of that. All I literally pointed out was the fact that I'm trying to help people overcome the monster, overcome the establishment. That is the key. Like, the overall arc, the story arc of what I'm trying to reach is helping people to overcome that initial monster, the big scary thing that's in the room that nobody likes to really point out. Like, that is just one of the story arcs that I like to use. Now, some of the other key points is that I mentioned some of the pain points of the people that I'm trying to reach. It's not just their pain points, it's pain points that I've faced myself as well. So when I talk about, okay, when you start to create content, who's really going to care? Who's going to listen? Like, it's those internal insecurities that a lot of people have. And let's be honest, like, we've all had it at some point. A lot of people have this. So addressing that and being brutally honest with it and transparent is just speaking to the individual and making them realize I've been there too. Like, I understand how they feel, but there is still a way and you should still face it and overcome it. Now, another thing that I also mentioned that a lot of people might not have picked up on is I position myself as the guide. When I said that I wanted to guide people to be able to package themselves in a way that people want to listen to in a digital age, I literally meant be a guide, like a Yoda type of guide. Think of most blockbuster movies and most stories that you see, series or whatever it is. There's always a guide to the main character. The guide is the helper, the guide is the person that directs people, doesn't do the work for them, but helps them to find their way or maps out a plan or gives them some form of direction. That is literally what I do. And that's kind of pointing out to the audience that I'm going to be going on this quest and journey with you. Now, I only touched on story arcs a little bit right there because I don't really want to go into too much detail in this video because there's loads that we could unveil within story arcs. Story arcs is a whole nother video which I'll do on a future episode, but I'll just give you some examples off the top of my head. So there's literally overcoming the monster. If you look at the Dollar Shave Club, a video that I've done a review on before and I've talked about before, the Dollar Shave Club literally helped everyone to overcome a monster because the monster was Gillette, the big establishment, the way things have always been done. And because they're challenging the way things have always been done, they're looking to slay the monster. So literally, that is an example, and I'll link it up above actually, a video that goes into more detail on a review of that video so you can break down the concepts. There's the Rags to Riches story arc, which is from Rocky and Cinderella, where people literally have nothing and build themselves up to having something, and you're always rooting for the person to do better. You get involved emotionally within the story. Like Rocky, for instance, he won everything from being nothing.
I ain't going down no more.
And coming from the bottom, literally, won everything, and then later episodes of Rocky, the later versions, he lost everything, and then he's on a quest to gain everything back, which brings us on to the third story arc, which is quest. Going out on a journey to achieve a set of goals, to do something specific. Think of the Lord of the Rings, they went out on a quest to go to Mordor to get rid of the ring. That was a quest, but there's ways that businesses do that as well. Businesses can have a mission where they're going out in a quest to help a certain group of people. Like, there's loads of different ways that you can play with it, literally. And I won't list all of them because there's so many that you could go into detail on. But that's just to give you an idea. And if you want to understand more on how you can put these into action, then leave it in the comments below and I will do it on a future episode and I'll go into detail. Actually, do you guys like detail? Do you like the nitty gritty detail? Or do you just like a skimmed overview? So you let me know what you want to see. Okay, so I gave you enough examples for you to understand. I gave you enough examples for you to recognize that meaning is important and story arc is just one of the ways to help you implement your meaning. But How do you find your meaning? That is a question most of you have probably got right now. You're at that point where you know it's important, you know you need to do it, but you need some practical advice. So let's go on to the next stage. Okay, so there are typically two ways that people go about recognizing if a brand or a tribe is for them or if it is not for them. One is the head and one is the heart. That's what a lot of marketers and branders say. It's all about winning hearts and minds, literally. Okay, so let's start with the head. If you want to talk to the head, you need to make sure that you come from a logical point of view, meaning that your business is either offering something with a new incentive, a new initiative, it's offering convenience or simplicity, it's offering safety or timeliness, or a few other factors that are important to your target demographic. Now, if you want to speak to the heart, we need to take a different approach. We need to appeal to the emotions more than anything, rather than the logic. So we need to give people a sense of feeling better after they've engaged or encountered our brand, whether that's through a touch point or whether that's buying something and actually using it, or whether that's just like a customer service or an email or coming into contact with somebody else that has used your products or services, or even just a simple fact of being recognized as a guy that's cool because they use your services, which is a form of social currency. You need to help people have that sense of belonging. Like, belonging is one of the most strongest pulls to anybody. All of us desire it. Everybody wants to belong to a said group. So the more that you can do this and give people a sense of belonging, the more you're going to retain people and also build that deeper relationship. Humor, responsibility, and style are also other factors and other ways that you can emotionally appeal to people's hearts. That brand that makes people look cool for using them is going to appeal to people's hearts because it gives them something of value that is internal. Because to other people, they appear to be stylish, in the know. Like those types of things, it really appeals to people. So you need to help people to become proud of actually wearing your brand or doing business with you or using your product or service, whatever it is. You need to find ways that you can incorporate that within your story and within the experiences of actually engaging your brand. Now, what you can do from here is look at the categories of the heart and the mind and see what you can use to appeal more to other people that are out there. And just be honest with whatever it is that you got. Don't try and factor in something that you're not. Always be what you are and stick to it and be consistent with it. Then look at the story arc concepts and think, what do I fit into? What does my personal brand fit into? Or what does my business brand fit into? And don't try and put something in that shouldn't be there. Only be who you are, be exactly who you are, and be consistent and transparent with it. There's a quick overview of meaning and why it's so important. I mean, you only have to look at brands like Apple and look at someone that believes in a PC and see how they go head to head because they believe different things. There's always that clash. You can't touch Apple product. What are you talking about, bro? PC is way better. You're paying more than what you should. Hopefully that video was useful to you guys. If it was, make sure that you like and subscribe and look out for another weekly video where I'll show you top tips and tutorials on how to tell your story through a lens in a visual way.